Hi, my name is Zizaran, and I am now going to go through the Metamorph patch notes. I'm excited. I'm gonna read out things, and if I don't feel like it's particularly important, I'm probably just gonna keep going, and I'll talk about it a little bit if it's something that's particularly exciting. Um, so to start up, new Dexterity Skill Gem, Artillery Ballista, new Dexterity Skill Gem, Shrapnel Ballista, Ensnaring Arrow, Greater Volley Support, Arrow Nova Support. Actually, I'm gonna F11 this. Fire Support, and then all the currencies. This is all stuff that we know. So it's 16 new uniques this patch. Orb of Awakening. This item can be used on any item with influence, such as Shaper Influenced Ring, and then any item at the same time, a ring in this case, to transfer that influence to the new item. The original item will be destroyed as a result of this process, but some of the original item's mods may be carried over to the destination item. That's so cool. What face? An item can have two influence types attached to it if they're transferred in this way. Can we have triple curse rings? Wow. Okay. 35 awakened support gems, which are more powerful versions of existing support gems. I'm still like, that sounds so cool. That actually sounds so cool. Added 60 new divination cards designed by our supporters. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, all divination cards in Path of Exile are designed by people. Wow, that's really cool. Shield arrow items, nice. Minor new content and features. You can now add item filters to your account through the Path of Exile website. When you log into your game client, no matter where you're logging in from, you will have access to all the item filters tied to your account, even if you're playing on console. Lionized Watch has been visually updated and uses our latest rendering technology. Nice. Pertaining, stop being toxic. There's the new loading screen as you enter Lionized Watch to match the new town's look. Added a new vendor recipe for your spirit catalysts. You can now refund multi-choice passives, such as those on Ascendant, to reselect your choice without having to refund all the passives after them as well. Oh, that actually sounds nice. New 3D art for Torch Oak Step and Machine Emits. Guess he's tired. I just woke up for this. A lot of ranged attack skills have received a major visual improvement, including the basic wand and bow attacks, Burning Arrow, Barrage, and Puncture. Arrows that collide with terrain now have a chance of bouncing off. This doesn't do anything other than look really cool and help performance in situations where players are firing thousands of arrows. Other skills have also received some visual improvements, including Firestorm, Frostblink, Freezing Pulse, Heavy Strike, Magma Orb, Summon Skeleton, and all the Warcry skills, Lightning Tendrils, Flesh Offering, Arc, and Sunder. Added lab enchantments for the new skills, as well as for Burning Arrow and Explosive Arrow. The cosmetic filter will now double check the description of your cosmetics rather than just your name. Improve the shadows, double dagger, dual strike animation. Continue to incrementally improve the sound, art, effect, and environments. Let's move on to the exciting part. Atlas changes. The Atlas of Worlds has been reworked. You now start at the center and will work your way outwards. The Shaper and Elder line story is gone and has been replaced by a story that takes place in the aftermath of the old story. Added five new difficult endgame bosses, each with their own special loot, including several new item types. Added a new mechanic, Watchstones. These can only be obtained by defeating one of the new Atlas bosses. They can be used to raise the tier of all maps in a particular region of the Atlas, causing all maps of those base types to drop at the new tier. Sextants can no longer be applied to individual maps and no longer have a radius. They're now applied to Watchstones instead, and affect every map in that region. They are not restricted by map tier, and if two or more Watchstones contain the same sextant modifier, only one will apply, and they have been renamed. Renamed? What are they called now? Sonic can now sell Shaper and Elder Influence maps once you progress the Atlas enough. These act like the old Atlas Influence, creating new monsters, threats, and rewards. That's nice. The Zana modifiers that change map tiers or reroll map base types have been disabled, at least for now. That's actually going to be like really stressful. Unique maps can now drop with the varied tiers based on the state of your atlas. Maps that previously had monster level overrides, such as Hologram, now instead rely on that variable tier. Hmm. Yeah, that's real painful for SSF. Yeah, it will be. Like, this one, like, so this one, if you don't know what this is like turning a tier 5 map into a tier 10, or turning a tier 10 map into a 15, or any map to a tier 16. So this is actually very big. That we don't have that. That's a really bad thing for SSF. Hmm. Blight mechanic added to the core game. Yay! Tier 16 Poor Joy, yeah. It's gonna be exciting. You will have 10% chance to encounter Cassia and her beautiful singing while exploring the Atlas. And her beautiful singing. Beautiful singing. Choose one. To Ash! To Ash! To Ash! Oh my god, I've never hated an NPC so much. Each Blight encounter will award at least one oil or blighted map. Cassie will say some nonsense early on because we haven't updated her script yet. Sorry. uh, Character balance. Fortifies damage reduction is now multiplicative with other similar effects. Shock and chill reductions have been changed. In general, it's not much easier. Um, and they talked about that in the manifesto. Like, this is a very, very nice change. It's basically like getting like the minimum chill is now like 5%, and it's a lot easier to chill bosses. So that's nice. There's a ailment threshold to monsters. In the great majority of cases, the ailment threshold matches the monster's maximum life. It primarily differs from especially high life monsters such as the Shaper, where the threshold is reduced to allow ailments to be applied when hits wouldn't ordinarily reach the required life thresholds. So this is actually really nice. To reach the minimum, you must deal 0.4% of a monster's ailment threshold. So, this still means that like if you're Quinn, you probably still will not shock and chill. But for most other builds, they should be able to. Toxic. I love Quinn. I hope he's here. The default shock magnitude for effects that apply shock without damage, such as Skitterbots, is now 15% from 20. They better have nerfed Skitterbots more than a 15 or than a 5%. The alternate ailments, Sap, Scorch, and Brittle, I completely forgot about these. Have slightly different calculations as they have lower caps on magnitudes. I did not remember that they were in the game. At all. Completely forgot they existed. Skill reworks. Shrapnel Shot, now called Galvanic Arrow, fires 2 additional arrows at all levels. Degrade in flight, eventually vanishing. Limits the skill's base range. And modifiers to proj speed will now allow arrows to travel farther before they vanish. Still deals a burst of damage in a cone. Increases to proj speed will cause your cone to reach further. Gains added lightning as the gem levels up to 9 to 179 at gem level 20. That doesn't sound that high. Now gains 1% proj speed per 1 gem quality and no longer pierced by default. It makes me sad that it doesn't pierce by default. Explosive Arrow now costs 8 mana at gem level 1 and up to 10 at gem level 20. Arrows stick in the enemy and explode after a duration. The duration no longer refreshes when a new arrow is attached. Previously, they were like charges. If the enemy has multiple arrows stuck in them, the first one to explode will consume all other attached arrows. I do like that. Thanks, Dylan. On-hit effects such as chance to ignite or critical strike are determined by the exploding arrow. However, each arrow's damage is calculated with their independent crit strike chance taken into account. For example, if the exploding arrow did not successfully roll a critical strike or ignite, the explosion will not ignite. If two other arrows were also attached at some point of the explosion and they successfully rolled to critical strike, they will add their critical strike damage to the explosion, but it will not cause an ignite. That seems overall bad for us. Explosions now deal 50% of the base damage. Explosions now also deal added fire damage based on gem level up to 522 to 783. That's a nerf. From 586 to 879. I mean, I think explosive fire is still going to be good this league though. Inherits base crit chance from your weapon. Gains +2 explosion radius up to +19. Ah. Explosions now deal 3% more damage with Ignite. I think so. Skill balance. All ballista totem skills, such as Siege Ballista and Ranged Attack Totem, has been renamed to Ballista Totem, now place the totem at melee range. This probably means that the cast speed is going to be like as good like cast speed as I had in PoE2. Specific skills. Arc. The range at which arc can chain to another enemy is now 35 units from 25. This probably means that I will not be going arc as my league starter. So I was hoping that this would be the change, but not so much for what I wanted for. I was hoping they wouldn't change the range at all. This is really good, by the way. This is technically better. Just not for me, for what I want, because obviously I was just hoping for like something like big chunk damage. So I could use like, arc traps or arc mines to be crazy damage. But that's still really good. Like that should feel nice. So I'll probably go, well, we'll see. I'll finish reading patch notes. Blast Rain now deals 30% of base damage. Gem level 1 from 40% up to 36%. Sources of additional projectiles are now added explosions and now 5 additional projectiles. Yes, so seeing while taxing, it looked really cool. Burning Arrow now converts 100% fist damage to fire damage. 50% chance to ignite. 50% more damage with ignite. Applies an additional debuff when you ignite, dealing extra burning damage based on the magnitude. Gains 1% fire damage over time multiplier. Burning Arrow must be insane single target now. Caustic Arrow now deals 8.8 base damage per second, up from 7 up to, okay, so it's 200 more damage at level 20. And additional radius. Dude, I would love to do Caustic Arrow again. I really miss it. I wonder if it's good enough now. It needs to be better than ED, because it can spread. We should POB that. I would love doing that. I would love doing CA. It's pretty good right now. They buffed chaos resist on bosses. That's true. Discharge no longer has a target limit. Thank Christ. Okay, I'm doing clock discharge at some point this thing. Elemental hit now deals 22 to 40 from 23 to 41. What's the endgame nerf? 110 less to 200 less. Oh wow, it's like 200 less top end on everything. 350 less lightning. Wow. Wow. That is pretty big. That's still fine though. It's so much damage anyway. Like it's like Ellie hit was already like so insane. So it's really good. Wouldn't worry about that. Yeah. I don't think that was too much. Yeah, it's not been nuked from orbit, and it was already really strong. Thanks for all the subs. Freezing Pulse. The art now more accurately reflects. Sorry, I read reflect and it like hurts me inside. The rate at which damage dealt by projectiles is reduced. Huh. Interesting. Ice Shot no longer leaves chilled ground on impact. Deals 130% of base damage up to 174. So 30% nearly. 27%, something like that. More at 20. Now chills enemies as though dealing 100% more damage. Huh. Up to 195 at gem level 20. Interesting. Gains increased effective chill as the gem levels up to 90%. Icicle Mine was providing an enormous area. I'm so happy this is getting nerfed. Well, I think it's a nerf. We never know with GGG. Icicle Mine was providing an enormous area coverage and damage at very little cost and was also causing performance problems. These changes are intended to bring Icicle Mine in line with other mines, as well as alleviate the performance issues it was causing. The projectiles will now fade over time similar to Freezing Pulse, but without the gradual damage drop-off. In other words, the mines will have a shorter range by default, but can be increased by the increasing the skill's projectile speed. Now has a 4% additional projectiles at all levels from 6 at level 20. Gains 1% increased projectile speed per gem quality from 1% projectile damage. This better be a nerf. It should be. I hate Icicle Mine. I just generally don't like traps or mines in general. Launching Steel. You look way too tired. That is because I rolled out of bed 30 seconds before clicking start. Lancing Steel now has a base attack time multiplier of 85%, down from 80. Deals 135% of base damage at gem level 1, up to 180, so that's just 5% change. 1% increased impale effect per quality. So that's like such a weird change. That's just like so little. It doesn't even... It basically means that it's just slightly nerfed compared to the bosses, I guess. Lightning Arrow, 110% of base damage. Please have flat lightning. 110% of base damage at gem level 1, up to 134 at 20. So that's like a 20... No. Is that a 15%? I can't math, but okay, it's a small buff. Now shocks enemies as though dealing 100% more damage at gem level 1, up to 195 at level 20. I do like these new things. Gains increased effect of shock as the gem levels up to 29%. Gains 1% chance to shock and 0.5. There's no flat lightning. And 0.5% increased effective shock per 1% gem quality. Wow, I was expecting every bow skill to get like flat out of lightning. Well, that's sad. That with Voltaxic, Omega Shocks. Yeah, the only thing that I'm sad about with Voltaxic, I'm sad that it did not get 100% conversion. It already has added lightning. No, I thought every bow skill would get like a huge increase, which is what I'm sad about. Because yeah. Anyway. Lightning Spire Trap now deals 12 to 26 lightning damage at gem level 1 from 14 to 43. Oof. Wow. That is a big top end nerf. That's like 50% down at level 1. Whew. Wow. Wow, that is a slap. That is a slap and a half. Wow. You don't think Burning Arrow was a big buff? Yeah, huge. Massive. That's why I said, wow, Burning Arrow is going to be a really good single target now. Up to 166 to 497. So, like, not a very big nerf at level 20. So, it's still good for, like, mup bosses. Because that's just, like, 80 top end on a skill that's insane. So, it's fine. Now strikes every... Oof! Oh, what? There's more? Now strikes every 0.55 seconds at gem level 1 up to 36. Okay, still, okay. Just 0.6. Still, oof. That's fine, oof. I mean, it's still gonna be fine at level 20, to be honest. I wonder if it'll still be okay at level 17, but like it's still like I just wonder if Armageddon Brand is a lot better now. Lightning Warp. If you now cast multiple Lightning Warps rapidly, you will travel between all of them as they trigger the warp. The timing for each subsequent warp is based on the distance. Oh my god. Do we not have to wait anymore for the stupid cooldown? We can use Lightning Warp now? Oh my god, dude. That's gonna be so cool. Wow. I'm actually really excited. That's actually really, really exciting. That's gonna be cool. Molten Strike now deals 120% of base damage at gem level 1 up to 139% at gem level 20. So 9% buff at high levels. Orb of Storms now deal 2 to 7 lightning damage at gem level 1 from 3 to 9 up to 185 to 555 at gem level 20. What? Now strikes every 1.5 seconds at gem level 1 up to 102 seconds. Oh, 50% slower. So basically not touched at endgame at all. It's basically not touched at endgame at all. And I actually think that should be fine for leveling. Like, it'll be a bit slower, but it was mostly one-hitting. And I was kind of more worried that they were going to touch the damage effectiveness, I guess. Because this should be fine. Like, most of the damage is going to come from my ones when I do, like, level when I get, like, actual flat spell ones. So that's okay. I might actually. So what I could end up doing then, like I'm like theorizing while like still going through the notes, is I could do like Orb of Storms early into SRS and switch to SRS when I get Onslaught. Cool. Okay, that's not too bad. I wonder how bad it'll feel. Pestilence Strike now gains additional melee range as the gem levels up to +2 at gem level 20. Punishment now causes cursed enemies to have -20% reduced physical damage taken. The duration of the buff granted by cursed enemies now matches the base duration. Okay. Punishment, omega lol. Rain of Arrows now deals 48%, so 8% buff on level 1 and a 10% buff at level 20. So 60% now at level 20. Race Spectre. Additional maximum specters are now unlocked at gem level 13 and 25 from 11 and 21. Race Zombie. The Zombie Slam ability now has a 6-second cooldown and a base radius of 17 from 28. Wow. -11. The Slam is now slower and has 30% less base damage effectiveness, rising to the previous damage effectiveness around gem level 17. These changes are not visible in the skill gem. Base zombie damage has been reduced by 25% at all levels. No longer grants zombies more life as the gem levels, but the zombies themselves do gain base life with each gem level. Now increases the zombies' slam area of effect as the gem levels up to 76%. Yes! Yes! I fucking hate zombies, dude. Nerf them into the ground. Fuck you, summoners. Right, hold on. Before I get like too ahead of myself, summon raging spirits. Oh no, there is a line for that too. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Fuck you, Ziz. I deserve it. I deserve all the hate right now. No, zombies are probably still fine. They're insane before. Scourge Arrow now deals 28% of base damage at gem level 1 from 40% up to 35% at gem level 20 from 49. Nice. I like that. I don't know why I don't like Scourge Arrow. Oh, now adds 20 to 30 chaos damage. Wow, up to 130 and 169. Oh, no, 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 no. That might be a buff. Shattering Steel now has a base attack time multiplier of 85% from 80, and now deals 48% of base damage at gem level 1 from 45 up to 55 from 50. It's a nerf to the other conversion Scourge Arrow. Good. I don't like Scourge Arrow. Oh, please be a nerf. The buff granted by Smoke Mine now grants 10% increased movement speed at gem level 1 from 20% up to 29% at gem level 20. That's still usable though. God damn it. We're still gonna be using that then, even at 10%. It's just like I'm too much of a boomer to like actually use it. No one likes to smoke my meta. It just fucks your arms. Shit hurts your hands. Yeah, like it just hurts, especially here. It's just too much micro for like I'll I'll probably use it. Boomer culture, dude. I'm old. I'm 31. Literally, and perfect time to use OK Boomer. I don't think any most racers don't like it either. Um. Hmm. Now requires Siege Ballista now requires level 12 at gem level 1 from level 4, and now deals 100% of base damage at gem level 1 from 140, up to 145 at gem level 20 from 170. Grants +2 to your max. This like, seems so big. See, grants +2 to your maximum number of summon totems at all gem levels. And now grants a 1% increased projectile damage per 1% gem quality. I'm excited. I'm excited for a new Siege Ballista. Spectral Throw now has an attack time multiplier of 110% from 100%. Split Arrow now deals 1 to 2 attack physical damage at gem level 1, 56 to 85 at gem level 20. Sol Ren now has a base duration of 0.6 at all gem levels from 0.4. Is that the only buff? Waffle was so excited. Waffle was so excited that they were buffing Sol Ren. This is lit fam now. So Waffle, if you're not sure what this means for your skill, it is so much better in every way now. Forehead. Stormblast Mine now deals 2 to 7 lightning damage from 3 to 10, up to 334 to 1002 from 305 to 915. I don't think this changes too much. Waffle's in here too. I love Waffle. Let's see. This is a buff. Oh my god, he is here. How are you, dude? Summon Raging Spirits. Summon Raging Spirits will now try to travel to the location your cursor was over at the point they were summoned unless they find an enemy before they arrive. Okay. What? Like, so even if there's no enemy there? But if an enemy is in range, it'll automatically go to that first. Nice. That should feel good. Might be really annoying in like few niche cases. That could be annoying. Since if that's the only change to Summon Raging Spirits and Summon Raging Spirits Life, I'm heavily leaning. The only problem, I'm like, I really want to go SRS at League Start. I really want to go Bees. The only thing is, with things like Uber Elder and Shaper, I can just like outskill the encounter by just not getting hit. But can I do that on a new encounter with blind? No, I can't. I can't really. Maybe I can go Juggernaut. Nah, Juggernaut's too hard. As a League Start. You won't win your reward anyway. I don't give a shit about that. I always race for boss kills, regardless of prizes. Tornado Shot. The secondary projectile now fade over time, similar to Freeze Pulse, but without the gradual damage drop-off. In other words, the secondary projectile will have a shorter range, but can be increased by increasing the seal's projectile speed. That's it. That's all they did. Okay. Neon was right. It wasn't nerfed enough. That was Rory. Rory was saying that. Depends how far the drop off is, I guess. Interesting. Toxic Rain. Ooh. Now deals 7.9 base chaos damage per second gem level at 6.7, up to 285. Oh, really? I was so excited seeing the 1.2 base damage buff. Like that's actually like pretty significant at gem level 1, and then I was like, really? 1.4 more damage at gem level 20? Really? Why you gotta do me like this? Oh my god. Like that's okay. Thanks. Val Burning Arrow. 100% of fist damage is now converted to fire damage. 50% chance to ignite. 150% more damage with ignite at gem level 1. And 1% fire damage over time multiplier per gem quality. Val Burning Arrow must like rip now. Like, poof, boss gone. That actually sounds really nice. That's a lot of damage. Yeah. And thanks for all the subs and stuff. I'll thank people after. Well, Spectral Throw has an attack time multiplier of 110. Venom Jar deals 90% of base damage from 80 and 115 from 104. Volatile Dead now has a limit of 60 orbs. What's that up from? Wait, is that down? It didn't have a limit before, right? 60? That sounds pretty high, though. Down from no limit. That sounds pretty high, though. That shouldn't affect most builds. Support Gem reworks. Ranged attack totem support, now called Ballista support totem. Ballista totem support. Supported heals now deal 50% less damage at gem level 1 from 30, up to 41% less at level 20 from 26. Oh, and they supported heals now summon a Ballista totem rather than a regular totem, and supported heals now have +2 max number of summoned Ballista totems. That's pretty cool. Huh. So you actually still get to throw 3 of everything. I didn't think these would get that. Wow. They nerfed it, no? Because it's +2. Attacks used by the totem now have 50% less attack speed. Oh wow, 50% less attack speed as well. Still though, it's 3 of them. And you can get additional totems. Should still be really good. Maybe just not low levels. Might need an investment. The Feeding Frenzy buff now grants 10% attack, cast, and movement speed to your minions from 15%. Minions now from supported skills now deal 5% more damage while you have Feeding Frenzy from 15 up to 15% of gem level 20 from 24. Wow. That's a nerf. I'm pretty sure I was using Feeding Frenzy on SRS as well. I can't remember. Fortify is now multiplicative with other sources of damage reduction. Impale now grants supported skills minus 30% to total physical damage reduction against Impale skills at all levels. Nice. You were using it? Okay, yeah. Inspiration. Please be a nerf. Supported skills now deal 5% more damage per inspiration charge Same as previously, up to 7% at gem level 20 from 8. Oh, that was a tiny nerf. And 1% less crit strikes. So 6 from 7 and 8 from 10. Okay. It's kind of OP support gem still. Minion damage support. Supported skills now deal 25% more damage at gem level 1 from 30 up to 49% at 20. No change. That's fine. Oh, I did skip LMP. Sorry. Supported skills now deal 15% less projectile damage at gem level 1 from 25. Oh, that's nice. Up to 6% from 16. That's a buff. Huh, nice. Still probably not going to use it at super low levels for most things. Minion damage support. Supported... Wait, I already read that. I don't know what's happening. I literally rolled out of bed before reading this. Mirage Archer support. The Mirage Archer now deals 40% less damage from 30 up to 31% less from 11. Oof, 20% less damage. Its targeting distance has been lowered to 70 units from 105. Wow. Onslaught support. Supported skills now have a 20% chance from 25 to grant Onslaught for 3 seconds. From 8 seconds. Wow. 3 seconds. That's huge for me. Wow. Up to 39% from 44 to grant Onslaught for 6.8 seconds from 8 at gem level 20. Wow. Now gains 1% attack and cast speed per 2% gem quality. Wow, that's so big for me. That's actually huge. This makes it like less not viable to level without Onslaught. I wonder if it's like Trickster, Contagion, ED looking really good right now. Like even early. Like before, I felt very forced. Huh. Less not viable to level without Onslaught? Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice. What do you mean there's no move speed? It doesn't say anything about the move speed. That was move speed. Well, that's nice. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of feeling. That's nice. I'm kind of feeling that nice. Point blank support. Supported skills projectile attack hits now deal up to 30% more damage to targets at the start of their movement from 50%. 20% nerf. 20% more as well. That's huge. It's bad. I'm trying to think. I actually kind of want to like level a ED character now. Then I kind of want to like, cause I want to like see what it's like at level 1. Cause it's not been touched, so it's kind of OP. Volley support. Supported skills now deal 12% less projectile damage at gem level 1 from 25 up to 3% from 16. Nice. Now has new art. Pog. Is no +1 chaos gems now though? What do you mean? What? Doesn't say that anywhere. Not yet, unless there's like more with items. There's quite a lot to read. Maybe. Let's look at the. Oh, I'm gonna skip to our ascendancies. Where were we? Here. Passive tree balance. Wait, is there no +1? No, I'm not talking about one recipe. I'm talking about +1 all chaos gems. Isn't there +1 all chaos gems still? I'm not talking about the one recipe. There is? Yeah, then that's what I'm talking about. Point blank keystone. So that's a 20% nerf there. Added a new cluster to the southeast of Ranger Watchtowers. The cluster provides bonuses to attack totems and allows you to summon an additional ballista totem. That seems really early accessible. Leveling with totems might be Pog. That's really early. Southeast of Rangers. That's really early. That's really cool. And if you go full elemental, because that's gonna be near all the elemental damage. That should be really nice. If it's like 1 or 2 less nodes away. Nice. I'm excited. The Ironwood cluster has moved to south of Duelist and has been expanded. Now includes 2 additional notables, Panopticon and Surveillance. The movement speed for minions granted by the Ravenous Horde cluster has been halved. Ouch. That sucked. The Graceful Assault cluster has moved closer to the Ranger from south of Duelist. The Honed Edge has moved 1 passive to the east. I love how they're using east on the skill tree. It is a world of its own. The Ambidexterity or Blade Barrier cluster has moved east several passives. The Retaliation / Testudo wheel is now where Ambidexterity / Blade Barrier used to be. The only person who knows exactly where this is without looking at it now is Carvaroscu. And maybe Uberly. And Noogie. The Bludgeon Blitz and Swagger clusters have both been moved 1 passive to the west. The Lava Lash notable now also grants 8% fire damage over time multiplier. Wow. Nice. Added a new cluster to the east of Shadow, Shocking Strength. Grants increased lightning damage with attack skills. Chance to shock, increased effect, and increased critical strike chance against shocked enemies. Interesting. Added a new cluster between Ranger and Duelist. Burning Brutality grants increased fire damage with attack skills. Chance to ignite, fire damage over time multiplier, ignite duration, and the notable causes ignite you inflict to deal damage faster. Huh. That sounds big for Burning Arrow. Especially with Lava Lash. Between Ranger and Duelist. Yo, you know what sounds kinda pog? Like, literally, like Juggernaut Burning Arrow. Juggernaut Burning Arrow sounds kinda like it would be popping off for damage. Or Chieftain. That's like not even like a meme. That actually could be nice. Probably Jug. Just for all those beefy not dyings. Why Jug? Because I don't want to die against the new boss. Added a new stat. Minus X percentage to total physical damage reduction from your hits. This stat has been added to the following clusters. Ophidian Aim, Blade Dancer, Splitting Strength, Spine Cruncher, Farsight, Claws of the Pride, Flying, Master of Force, Adamant, Inexorable, Martian Experience, Kinetic Impact, and Path of the Warrior. Added a new, very similar stats. Enemies you impale have a minus percentage to total physical damage reduction against impale hits. This has been added to the Forceful Skewering and Swift Skewering clusters. Skipped Flash Freeze. Oh yeah. Flash Freeze now grants a 10% chance to freeze. The small passive leading up to it now has 12% increased cold damage from 16 and 10% increased effective chill. Yeah, you're right. I did skip that. Ascendancy Balance. Necromancer. Mindless Aggression now grants your minions 10% increased movement speed from 30. Commander of Darkness now grants the increased attack and cast speed aura as a single combined aura rather than a separate aura for each other skill you had. Huh. This matters for effects that care about how many buffs you have, such as Mentor of Flame, so that's technically a nerf. TLDR? That's the TLDR of the Passionate so far. Guardian. Unwavering Faith now grants physical damage reduction and life regeneration aura as a single combined aura, rather than a separate aura. That only matters for Mentor Flames. Slayer, Endless Hunger now causes you to be unaffected by bleeding, rather than immune. Ooh, that's a buff. Interesting. That's pretty big. Huh. So wait, what happened? Have they just forgotten to put the rest in? What about Elementalist? Oh, have they forgotten? What about Raider? Why is Raider not getting a change? Wait, wasn't Raider... Because Raider only got, like, slightly changed. What happened? Raider is good? I don't feel like it's particularly, like, better than anything else, though. I don't ever feel, like, really pulled towards Raider. I thought this was going to be, like, the huge Raider rework patch. They already said that no major changes were done to Ascendancy this patch. I thought they said Raider was getting... Okay, whatever. Okay, we'll move on. Item balance. Assassin, Sniper, and Recurve bows base types of 6.7 base crit from 6.5. They now have an implicit that grants 15 to 25% crit multi. Wow. The Steel and Reflex bow base types 6% movement speed, and Marketh now has 10%. Spine and Ivory and Bone bows now have a base attack speed of 1.4 from 135 and 6.5 crit from 6. Damage has been lowered. Ranger bow base type now deals slightly more damage, and all wand base types have 20% more damage. Wow. And now, what was the new attack speed tier? Bows and wand can now roll attack speed modifier. That's 17 to 19%, right? I think. I don't know why it doesn't say that here. Added fire, cold, and lightning damage for bows no longer use the same modifiers as those found on one-hand weapons. They instead have their own progression, which is 25% stronger than the one-hand equivalents. Ellie bows? Hello? Interesting. Huh. Crafted modifiers. The faster start of energy shield recharge crafted modifiers. The lower tier now grants 8 to 11 from 12 to 17 and costs an orb of alchemy. The higher tier now grants 12 to 15 and costs 4 orbs of alchemy from 1 exalted. Wow. Well, that's cheaper. And worse. You can no longer craft +1 curses on body armors or unveil it. Why? That was cool. You can no longer craft the veiled added damage of specific elements with an ailment chance on bows. Crafted modifiers, which grant elemental or chaos resistance penetration on weapons, now around 9 to 10% from 14 to 16. I wonder if you can still find, like, isn't there +1 curse in Delve too? I can't remember. Probably on new exalts? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. That would make sense. And I'm pretty sure there's +1 curse in Delve, I just can't remember for sure. Crafting modifiers, which granted elemental or chaos resistant penetration on weapons, now around 9 to 10% from 14 to 16. The off crafting, which previously allowed you to craft any number of additional mods, now craft up to 3 mods on the item. This affects existing items. Oh, items with the mod will now be limited to 2 additional crafts. However, any items with more than the allowed number of crafts will keep those mods. I really like that. I think it's actually one of the best changes for the game lately. I think it's great. It was actually really funny, because I posted that yesterday, saying like that's completely fine. Still 2 exalts though, yeah, that's balanced. That's what it should be. But yeah. Anyway, I was saying that it's completely fine. Some guy was like, "Oh no, like it's like, this is so bad. And then Methel also replied, like, no, this is completely fine. And then he was like, okay, fair enough. It's like, what? It's like, no, you're wrong. Okay, fine. Ugh. The veiled and crafted modifiers with hybrid defenses, armor, energy shield, or evasion, and life have had their values halved and their progression split by item type. Wow. Interesting. Okay, I mean, it was kind of too high anyway. Shaper and Elder modifiers. The Shaper and Elder physical damage added as fire, cold, and lightning modifiers on amulets. Now we're on 8 to 11 from 10 to 15, and 12 to 15 from 16 to 20. Hmm. It's easier to trust Mathel's opinion because he still plays PoE. I'm pretty sure I've played more Path of Exile than every streamer except like 2. In fact, and I have more hours streamed than any other Path of Exile streamer. So suck my dick. By a lot as well. By over 4,000 hours. There's 2 people, like Baylor Mage, I think. Elemental penetration suffix. Hey, speaking of penetration, can no longer roll. Prefix versions have been added instead. Bows can no longer roll the 2-handed weapon version of added cold damage per dexterity. They can now roll the 1-handed weapon version instead. That's quite a lot lower. Oh, I did miss the line. The Shaper and Elder attack speed and double damage modifiers on 2-handed weapons now run 46% chance to deal double damage from 20. Well, that's a nerf. Damn. Why would anyone want that as a suffix? Like, that's like, even 10% would like maybe be usable, but this is like, oh no, I rolled double damage. Okay. Literally K is the only appropriate. Increase maximum mana modifiers on helmets now go 9 to 11 from 10 to 15 and 12 to 15 from 16 to 20. The higher tier all attributes modifier on amulets can no longer roll. The higher tier elemental penetration modifiers on amulets can no longer roll. Huh. So how on earth? The lower tier reduced reflect and physical and elemental damage taken modifiers on body armor now goes 100% reduced reflect damage. What? Wait, what? This seems like a buff. Hello? I'm struggling to read this line. The lower tier of reduced reflect physical and elemental damage modify reflect. It's hard for me to read that word. Wow. Reflect immune? Pog! Did they add like a 0 by accident? Pog! Reflect immune! This is a huge Ziz buff! This is our moment! This is the time we've been waiting for! Rise up! Rise up and fight! Yo, they really hate Elementalist, eh? And Slayer. I heard the new mod is called of Zizaran. Do you remember on the GGG whiteboard, they had added side quests for Zizaran in the library? You know what? I finished my side quest. This is my reward. Reduced reflect physical damage on rings. Now around 31 to 45% and 46 to 55. Wow, so you can get reflect immune on rings too. That's kind of cool. Sorry, I'm new, but what's Elementalist? It's an Ascendancy that used to be very strong, and it still is a little bit, but 2 of the nodes on the Ascendancy is completely butchered and basically aren't there anymore. It's like they like amputated it. Non-chaos damage is extra chaos damage modifiers on amulets now 3 to 5% from 7 to 13. Wow. Yikes. Elemental damage is extra chaos damage modifiers on one-handed weapons of 5 to 6% from 10 to 15 and 7 to 8 from 16 to 20. Oof. Staffs and war staffs can now roll a 200 version from values of 10 to 12 and 13 to 15. Okay. Recover mana unblock modifiers now around 3 to 5% from 4 to 8, bringing them in line with the life and energy shield equivalents. You can no longer roll additional chance to evade attacks on rings. The all elemental resistance percentage modifier on belts can now roll up to 13 to 15% and 16 to 18. You can no longer roll chance to maim and maim support modifiers on two-handed maces. Hybrid physical damage and support spell damage and support modifiers can no longer roll on two-handed weapons. Added physical damage and chaos damage to spells from weapons now around 32 to 44 and 66 to 76. Huh. That seems like a buff. A neon patch, yeah. 200 versions, around 60 to 73. Oh, F 200 versions. Huh. 50 nerf on the high end on two-handers? Wow, they've really done like two-handers. Fossil crafting. The supported by May modifier from serrated fossils can no longer roll on body armors. The damage is taken from mana before life from loosened fossils, now a prefix to be consistent with the Shaper version. The added max life and increased from pristine fossils can no longer roll. But why though? I need that on SSF. That's garbage. Giant waffles gloves just got more value. Wow. Maybe the new items count or currencies? Yeah, but still. Literally though, back to ES. Let's go. CI League. Indirectly CI League. I haven't seen anything for CI nerf so far. What have you two, MMR? I mean, pristine fossils are still okay just because it's a higher chance for a life roll. CI is chaos inoculation. Energy shield build, basically. Seems like they haven't touched it. Elemental penetration modifiers from fossils now around 5 to 7%. Two-handed versions grant 12 to 15. Yo, actually though, somebody in chat just said back to Vortex Cold Snap. While that is a build I hate, it's unironically probably one of the best choices for this league. Actually, I hadn't thought about it. Why do you hate it? It's just like not a fun skill to play. Prismatic modifiers for weapon elemental penetration now around 9 to 12% from 16 to 20. It's just I love you too, MMR. It's just like just not fun. But maybe on occultist with the explosions. I haven't done that to be fair. So maybe. How much do we have left? Is it just this? Oh wow, there's so much stuff. Wow. Okay. Interesting. The Matatl's modifiers on boots, which grants the chance to dodge as Now around 5 to 6 from 11 to 12. Existing versions can be updated with the Divine Orb if you want to be hit more often for some reason. I love grinding your games. Grinding your games is a treasure for the world. It's just like their patch notes are amazing. Spell damage modifiers for one-handed weapons can now reach up to 109%. Spell damage modifiers for two-handed weapons can now reach 164%. Fuck bows, dude. Bow League? Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck bows, dude. Fuck bows so hard. What is this Bow League? Bow League was like the biggest debate ever. GGG just sitting there like, oh, all the streamers are talking about Bow League. They don't know. They don't know about our upcoming Spell League. Neon sitting there like, dude, I really miss playing Arc. I really like that nice shattering crunchy sound. I don't like these bow users. And then like someone at GGG is like, so we're making this a Bow League? And Neon's like, yeah, sure, bro. Sure. Oh, dude. Oh my god. Spell damage modifiers grounded by Essence of Woe have been updated to be consistent with the above changes. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm 100% going some form of spell or like maybe minions still. Minions is just so much staying power in a fight. The increased fire, cold, and lightning prefixes have been raised. Of course they have. Why wouldn't they? Okay. Cartographer seals and unshaping orbs can no longer be obtained via the recipe as they can no longer be used. They can now be sold to a vendor to recruit the original recipe components. Apprentice Cartographer and Sextant modifiers are now called Simple Sextants. Journeyman's Cartographer have been renamed Prime Sextants, and Master Cartos have been renamed Awakened Sextants. They each have new art. I really worry about this Atlas, dudes. I really worried. Because I think you can break your Atlas now. I think Carve is very worried. I want to see Carve's reaction. How? So right now, if you complete a map, that's it. That's completed. It cannot be uncompleted. And they had this initially at the initial release of the Atlas. And everyone was like, okay, I mean, we can destroy our Atlas now. So I am definitely keeping one, like, I'm not smart enough for this, so I'm gonna keep one tier with nothing locked in it until Carve figures this shit out for me, and then I will translate whatever Carve says into normal English for you guys. 100% keeping at least one section. Maybe I'll just do one. Maybe I'll just do one section. I'll stay there. I can see some adjacent maps and abusing. Yeah, I can easily see this being abused. I'm a bit worried. The Carve you forgot about? I did not forget about it. Even Carve said I didn't. Ha. Sextants are no longer used on maps on your atlas. They're now used on watchstones, which can be socketed in your atlas and affect all the maps in that region. We've reviewed and modified a number of sextant modifiers. The reward from Legion and Blight encounters have been tweaked. Up or down? They should have just, instead of saying this is a nerf or this or buff, they should have just written this changes things. Probably a nerf. The number of gems rewarded by lab chests have been reduced. Modifiers exclusive to the convoking base type have had their relative weightings adjusted. I don't like adjustments. They imply it's a bad thing. Skill-specific lab enchantments now increase the skills AoE have had their values increased to 16% from Mercies and 24% from Eternal Lab in almost every case. Doesn't affect existing enchantments. The Blast Train additional Blast Lab enchant can no longer be acquired. Eternal Lab now grants 100% from additional Blast from 75%, and existing items are not affected. Lab enchants, which were previously granted knockback chance for sweep, now granted chance to gain endurance charge on kill with sweep. That's pretty cool, though. Not that anyone's gonna be going melee this patch. Debated. Not on hardcore, at least. On softcore, melee still fine. Maybe a little hairy on hardcore. Lab enchants, which previously granted duration for eye shots chilled ground, increased damage. Lab enchants that grant AoE for shrapnel shot, now galvanic arrow can no longer be obtained. Shaper and Elder CRs have been reworked. They now add Shaper and Elder influence outcomes to the map area. Run 30 or 60, 90% to find Elder or Shaper rare items in the area. Dude, imagine if this bugs out. Imagine if this bugs out and just like every mob has like a 90% chance to drop an Elder item. We just see like loads. The price of protection divination card has been temporarily disabled from dropping because tier 16 Elder to Toe maps are no longer a thing. You can still turn in existing sets for a map from the previous tier while we contact the owner and ask how he would like us to fix this divination card. That's basically the text that was missing there. If you don't know, every single divination card in Path of Exile is not added by GGG. They're all added by players. And you have like I've made the Undisputed card, and then I have one more div card that I can make. And it's just like a drop down menu. But his card is just gone, basically. What do you feel about the fishing cards? I don't mind. And thanks for all the subs and stuff. Remove the Sextant upgrading recipe. That's true, Raka. Unique item balance. Reach of the Council is not changing this update. Because fuck bows. We have some cool plans for this item, but couldn't get them ready in time for Bow League. We're very sorry, Reach of the Council fans, or people that like bows in general. Volley fire is now limited to 1, and now causes you to fire 6 additional projectiles on the first and last volley, up from 2. Huh. Existing items can now be updated with a Divine Orb, however, all versions are affected by the new limit. Ascendancy chance now triggers a socketed spell when you attack with a bow. Previously had a 25% chance. It now has a 0.3 second cooldown on this effect. That's pretty cool, though. Huh. Wait, hold on. Which one's that again? It's a helmet, right? The upgraded helmet? Yeah. It's the upgraded, like, attack and cast speed helmet. Wow, the wiki's not really loading well at the moment, is it? Huh. Trigger a socketed spell when you know. That's like... It's the new wiki. It is a nerf. But that's pretty cool, though. But it's... I mean... Actually, it has ES on it. Does this read the announcement at the top? You think I can read? You must be new here. That's sort of my shtick. I can't really read. Emberwake now causes... resumes reading. Emberwake now causes ignited enemies to burn 50 to 65% slower from 65% slower. Hyri's Ire. I'm tilted that they nerfed this. Hyri's Ire now is 100 to 145 min cold damage. And 160 to 200 max. Wow, that's down quite a lot. I just don't get why that test needed to be nerfed. Dude, literally, like, Bow League, Keck W, I really want to, that, both, that, Spanish dude laughing, just is perfect for this. It's so easy to make, and then we told them it's gonna be a Bow League. Keck W. Cool Rain now grants 30% less damage from 40%. Hey, this is a huge buff for, early Twink leveling. Soft Nurture no longer has Ignites you inflict spread to other enemies. Now has supported by level 20 Ignite Proliferation. The Unshatter's will damage reduction from the Harbinger of Focus is now multiplicative with other similar effects. That's kind of good anyway. Like, you should never be able to be, like, nearly fully immortal. Snakebite now also grants 5% damage over time multiplier. Existing items are unaffected. Namu's Flame Molten Strike now deals 50% more damage. Pog? Eat Up is just like... Hallowed Ground no longer overrides the level of monsters within it. It now adds or subtracts the number of levels from the monsters within it based on the mod. This is due to the capacity for it to have a variable tier. So this means that if it's like +5 and it's like they're tier 12, then I guess it'll just be capped at tier 16. That's a bow? No, Namahu Flame is the bird axe. Chicken axe. Hollow Ground is the map with the big like coal boss in it. And you have to kill lots of mini bosses. Pitch Darkness no longer drops and cannot be dropped outside of trading with other players. Who? PoE Pitch Darkness. I wonder how many people have to look up what that is. Oh, it's the Burning Arrow support gem. That makes sense. Sudden Ignition no longer drops and cannot be obtained. That prevents Burning Arrow from applying its burning duration. Sibyl's Lament now reduces reduce effect damage taken by 80% while in the left slot ring from 40 and reduces reflect physical damage taken by 80% while in the right ring slot from 40. That's really easy to reflect to me in this patch, so that's actually pretty nice for me in particular. And I find it very easy to read Fist Reflect. I just really struggle with Ally Reflect for some reason. I think it's because of like elemental equilibrium and like percentage elemental resistance. There's so many like elemental things, whereas like there's no like Fist bunch except for Sextants. Aerial's Fostering's minions are now immune to damage and cannot be targeted. Ooh, interesting. Well, Toxic Rift now also allows you to shock enemies if dealing 300% more damage, and allows shocks you inflict to increase damage taken by enemies up to a maximum of 100%, as opposed to the normal shock cap of 50%. We refuse to put it back to 100% conversion, even though there should technically be no good reason to put it back to 100% conversion now that there is no double dipping. Control F Headhunter. I don't really care. I don't really care. I donated for this shit. Well, if you donated with the line saying alerts are off, then you know what? Maybe you deserved that. And then I'll read everything afterwards. I'm just encouraging the world to read better. You're drunk? Nice. World changes. 2 new areas connected to the epilogue town is being adjusted. They can be added. Sorry. They can be accessed by progressing through Kirak's quest. Who? Who? Who the fuck is Kirak? Am I just so out of touch with lore, or is this a new dude? I'm pretty sure this is a new dude. Is this new Zana? Are we going from like perfect maiden Zana to some sort of Giga Chad called Kirak? Zana is now a man. I don't like this. This is a nerf. This is a huge nerf. No, that's not the Metamorph dude. He's called something else, Octavian or something. Helena now has something to say about the Order of the Jinn. I don't give a shit. I gotta get on with my grind. I don't have time to stop and listen to your lore. Gotta kill monsters. Kill monsters faster. Lore Omega lol. It sucks because PoE actually has great lore. It's actually a really good storyline. Monster changes. Boss encounters throughout the entire campaign have now been made more difficult. In most cases, they would have significantly more life, deal more damage, and use some skills that attack more quickly. Sorry. This is particularly true for act bosses. Several bosses also have new skills. I just hope we die loads during leveling. I hope it just shits on people, dude. I think that would be like really amusing to just see like has died at rank 1, has died at rank 3, throughout the entire league. Like, I'm just excited for this. I just want to watch people die. I want me to die. I just want people to be dying left, right, and center. I want us to just, like, 10 hours into the league, just be like, whew, this is gonna take a while. You know how, like, on Method, we're gonna be casting the event until, like, until the first kill of Awakener happens? I hope that it's like, okay, day 13 of the casting event. Everybody's dead. That'd be great. Most players can't play as much as you. I mean, that's not my problem. I still want people to die. It's amusing. Let me have my amusement. I can hope for something. Then if you hope for it, then it balances each other out. Like if you hope for the opposite. That's literally what streamers are. Creatures without life. I feel like that is an apt description. Many bosses with a lengthy introduction, such as Brine King, now take reduced damage for a short period of time immediately after becoming targetable. Wait, are you saying we can't pre-trap 400 traps? That's hilarious! That's so cool! That's so amazing! That's great! Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. Monsters throughout the game now have more armor from 33% at level 1 to 2,762 at level 84. Sounds a lot scarier than it is because armor is shit and their base armor is staringly unimpressive. Monster resistances throughout the game have been reviewed and been made more consistent. In many cases, this has resulted in more resistances on the monster. Diablo 3 numbers. The wave skill used by some sea witch monsters, such as Merveil Daughters, is no longer considered a projectile and will deal damage in a way that more actively reflects its visuals. Interesting. Betrayal changes. The Mastermind will now drop scarabs when slain. This is a buff. Safe house outcomes that reward scarabs now have a chance to reward additional scarabs. I quite like scarabs. Dude, there's still more. There's so much stuff. I love this. This is an exciting note. Wait, where were we? I got lost. Here. Map changes. The Atlas has been completely reworked. See you next year. Wow, here I come, Lovertini. There's a new storyline, new boss encounters, and new ways to customize your Atlas. Well, I mean, we can't really change it anymore. Kind of limiting and stomping on my creative freedom here. The Elder, Shaper, and combined Elder and Shaper encounters can still be accessed. If you're lucky, this will never happen. Sana may offer a Shaper or Elder Guardian map. That's pretty cool. Elder Guardians are no longer in a separate instance to that of their map. Like the bosses throughout the campaign, most map bosses have had their life significantly increased and damage and speed of several skills increased. Many bosses are now also more resistant to elemental and chaos damage. Like, this means that on hardcore, we're gonna have to roll them at fucking white or blue. And also, if you have a headhunter, you can just, like, swoop. Well, they still have faces. Do they just hang out now? It would be cool if they just wandered the map. Instead of, like, yeah. When encountering Zana in a map, the number of map options she offers is now tied to the level of the area. Zana's level, when determining which map device crafting options you have available, as well as what maps Zana can stock in her window, is now determined by the number of maps you have completed on your atlas. Ah, that makes sense. Maps now have a 10% chance to contain a Val side area. 10%, that's pretty high. I actually was worried it would be lower. Where you can find sack fragments and Val gems. Now, remember that every item that a Val side area drops from the like test at the end are corrupted. So this is a huge chance for a 6-thing armor. Obviously, like decent chance for 6-thing weapons as well. But what's really important to remember, and what a lot of new players easily forget, is do remember that you can recolor corrupted items in your crafting bench at the cost of Val orbs. Very important. The Cortex map is now more commonly available from Sana relative to the other synthesis maps, and is now always level 83, previous at a variable level. All synth maps now require a minimum level 80 area to appear in Sana's mission window. Links? I thought links are gone. That's in PoE 2, not in 3.9. All 5 synth maps. Dude, can you imagine all the people that think like skill gems have links now just are in for like a wide shock when they boot up PoE? All 5 synth maps can now drop as unique items. They can only be acquired from map bosses of tier 11 or greater maps, or tier 14 or greater for Cortex. Or if you're very, very lucky, maybe Zana will sell you one. Wait, I just realized. Wait, we still have Zana? Pog! Zana's not a bad girl? Yay! I just realized this. I didn't even think about it while like reading all this shit. Why'd people happy? Saved! I met the voice actress. She's super nice. Zana's League mods available during 3.9. Zana's map device options are now unlocked as you progress through the Atlas quest chain. There are League mods available during 3.9. Fortune favors the brave. That's just one of anything else at random. I like that it's including those you have not yet unlocked. Did he ask you if you were still sane? No. Essence. Area contains 3 essence monoliths. Anarchy. You know what? I actually might use that a little bit early on SSF. I just wish it was some sort of like that you couldn't get like, I don't know, maybe if you could only get like wailings or actually you can only get wailings in maps, right? Maybe if you could only get screamings. Anarchy. Areas inhabited by 3 additional rogue exiles. Domination. Area contains 3 shrines. Bloodlines. Magic monsters each have a bloodline mod and contains 3 additional magic monster packs. Nemesis is 4 C rare monsters. Each have a Nemesis mod. Areas contain 5 additional packs with a rare monster. Do remember, this is the mod that you need if you want to be able to roll, chance, or drop a headhunter. With things like ancient orbs, chance orbs, or anything like that. Beyond costs 5 chaos orb, chance for monsters to open a beyond portal when slain. Pog, Havoc must be so happy. Legion, Eric is the Legion monolith. That's gonna be pretty worth actually at 6 chaos. I will probably do chaos recipe then on SSF just to farm Legion. Interesting. That's actually super worth. User interface improvements. The world panel map now supports curved lines. Is that a buff or nerf? Remember Legion awards were tweaked? True. But I really want my timeless jewels on SSF. So I think I have to. Resonator stack sizes are no longer obscured by the resonator sockets in the Delve stash tab. That's a buff. Added slots in the fragment stash tab for the Elder and Uber Elder fragments. Nice. Nice. This is a buff. Quest reward. Sana no longer awards maps as you complete the Atlas questline. Instead, she awards free uses of her special map device, the modifiers, the first time they were unlocked. K. ... That is a K ... But just one. What's his uses? It doesn't even say one. So, but maybe. Unless. If it's like 5. If it's like 5 or 10. Why are your eyes so red? I rolled out of bed literally 30 seconds before patch notes. I'm gonna go to bed after this. You get one and you know it. The first time? No, the first time they are unlocked. Free uses the first time they are unlocked. So it could be several. Added Shrapnel Ballista as a quest reward for the ranger for completing breaking some eggs and as a purchasable. Added Arrow Nova support. Ranger. Added ensnaring arrow as a quest reward. Added artillery ballista, barrage support on greater volleys. It's just that we can get them as quest rewards and buy them. PvP changes! PvP only characters can no longer appear on league ladders. Barrage support now applies the 20% damage penalty against players to skills it supports. Arrow now support now applies the 25% damage penalty against players to skills it supports. Greater Volley now applies the 25% damage penalty against players to skills it supports. This was the case previously when it existed. Artillery Ballista now has 30% damage penalty. Yay! Alright, there's a lot of bug fixes. Skip, no, there's sometimes exciting ones. There's sometimes exciting bug fixes. Or is there? Oh, there's a lot of them. Maybe there isn't. Yoke? Wait, there's a yoke thing? Bottom? Fix the bug where Sap Brittle were also considered the same as Chill for the purpose of increasing... That's a buff. That's like quite a lot more damage you can get on Yoke. Poison was considered the same as Ignite. Basically, Yoke of Suffering was broken. Wow. And it was still so good? Damn. Shock was chill as well. Shock was considered... Come on! Okay, you know what? Let's actually look through them. Fix the bug where Midnight's Bargain's life restoration wouldn't correctly maintain the hidden life restart if you died. Improved at... We'll just like go through them fast. Improved at Purifying Flame handles terrain elevation. It's not perfect, but it's better. Fix the bug where if you were not the first player to enter a PvP area, you would use... Okay. Okay. Fix more weird betrayal states. Nice. Fix the bug where Legion monsters could affect players and other monsters before they'd been revealed. Fix the bug to cause mines to have a different rotation on the game client. Game client. Fix the bug where Smite. Fix the bug where the projectiles. Just like skimming through the bugs to make sure we don't miss anything important. Like the ones at the bottom. Fix the bug that caused Cobra Lash to behave poorly. Fix the bug where Fireflies and Delve Encounter were not making monsters invulnerable. Or vulnerable, sorry. Fix the bug where Flame Dash with Stygian effect would work incorrectly. Predictive. Fix the bug where if you used Phase Run and Withering Step simultaneously, you get to keep the effects of both. Fix the bug... Oh, I thought that was intended. Fix the bug caused Act 4 Piety to not one-shot Rise QT. Fix the bug where the visual effects from the cycling buff on Arborix and Augur would linger. Standing on an enemy's conk run would not correctly show the debuff. Fix the bug where advanced mod description to control would prevent you from actually seeing the advanced mod description by holding control. That. Wonky transition in Savage Crab's animation set. Syndicate Lab. Blighted relics from taking damage. Transform an amulet reward would destroy any skins transferred on the original. my MTXs! Fix the bug where Vuln from Kara's trial would not be reapplied after dying and reviving in PvP. Smooth out some unnecessary and uneven ground in the battle scarred hideout. Insightfulness and... Okay. I don't think there's anything else really exciting. That's pretty good. So we're gonna wrap it up here. That was like me reading through the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay. As for what I'm leaning towards, I'll be doing POBing and stuff and coming up with league starters. I don't know how much... Wait, is today Wednesday? I'll probably stream today, and me and Noogie might do like a logical optimism and talk about this. But this is pretty good. I really like the patch notes personally. I think they're really good. There's a few things that are a bit like that, but generally excited. Fifth last line of bugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Monster generation and rewards from Legion would never roll their max values unless items being awarded. Oh, so that sounds like the Legion changes might be a buff. Yeah, a few things were a bit K, but I actually like it. There's a lot of things that are kind of dumb. I am leaning towards Vortex, Summon Raging Spirits, or Essence Drain. So that's what I'm leaning towards. I I will try to stream tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to stream on Thursday. All the Awakened gems here. I think we've seen them already, right? But what? Oh, right. Awakened added lightning. That's exciting. Um, but yeah, it's pretty exciting. A lot of it. I thought you hated Vortex. I do. I genuinely do. I think it's the skill I've enjoyed the least ever. But I will be trying to put out as many like beginner guides and starters as possible before league start, and yeah, I'll check it out later, Tsuki. And I will also I have a lot of guides on YouTube. Like if you missed Legion or if you missed Blight or you didn't fully understand either of the mechanics, we have like guides going up for that, and also like a hardcore survival guide if you want to try your hand at the 50,000 US dollar worth of the Awakener Kill event that's starting on Friday. So yeah, if you want any tips, remember that you don't need to get first to have a big chance to win stuff in this event. But yeah, we're gonna end the recording here. And I'll say bye to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you come by my Twitch channel, please. We need more people here. No, come by twitch.tv/Zizaran. Thanks for watching. Try to die less than I do.